obtain. So it says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. See, that's personal. They strive for the mastery. They're temperate in all things. They stay for themselves. Now, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. We run this race to obtain an incorruptible crown. The only sole purpose why we do it. But as we go, we start recognizing that there are other people out there who might want to run in this race with me. Yeah. And the thing about Christ is he's so selfless that on the inside of you, when you get something, stop. On the inside of you, when you get something for yourself and you've got Jesus, you're so selfless that you're not worried about getting there all by yourself. You're worried about getting there, but if somebody else can jump in on the bandwagon, you don't mind. I used to not want people to pass me. I used to not want people to pass me with salvation, with ministry, with gifts. But one thing that God is showing me is I have to worry about me. Because if I start comparing myself to Andy and what God has given Andy, then I'll start looking away from obtaining the prize. And so it says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
That's what King James said.
So I keep it under my body. He lets the Holy Ghost work at home first.
Yes.
The Holy Ghost works at home first, so that he is under subjection. Now, that might be a spiritual struggle that you're going through because you are trying to figure out what keeps me. You're trying to learn what keeps me. How does the Holy Ghost keep me? What is the keeping power mean? You might be going through that kind of a struggle to figure out what that keeping power means. Well, honestly, it means get rid of everything else now. If you're going through that kind of a struggle, it means you have to let go of every other thing. And you have to step in and you have to press towards God for yourself. You can't look at a situation. You can't look at a situation and try to analyze it. You have to get on your knees and you have to say, Lord, something's wrong. I don't know what keeps me. I don't know what keeps me. And I need to work on me right now. It's actually the very opposite of what you might think. You might think, I'm staying in this struggle because I'm focusing on this struggle. And so you think if I stop focusing on this struggle and put my hands to war, if I put my hands to use and I start acting, then I won't focus on the struggle anymore. But the struggle is now still there. You just placed it in something else. You just put your focus onto something else. Diversion. Wow. But what you've got to do is you've got to address the struggle for itself. You can't go help somebody in true freedom. Otherwise, watch this. You'll do exactly what I did. I said I was possessed for many years. My problem was that I was bound. I was oppressed for many years, and I didn't know it because I was trying to find my safety in helping other people. But when somebody else got helped, and yet I still had to keep helping people just to stay straight, but they didn't care about helping somebody else when they got free, I realized that the true freedom that I spoke about, God's delivering power, really worked on them, but yet I was still...
I can't eat that same plate.
I'm still trying to get deliverance. I think that my deliverance is in the help, but somebody else got truly delivered, and if they sat down every single Sunday in church, they'd be fine.
Yep, they were fine.
But me, I thought because I'm called to the ministry, I let Satan play with my mind. Because I know that I'm called to the ministry, I let so many things get toyed up. When at the beginning, my first prayer to the Lord was, don't let me be elevated until I've got myself situated. But I started to seek elevation, thinking that the elevation, that if he gave me more responsibility, I would then have to be freed. Because I couldn't work. But guess what? God will use anything, even an unclean vessel, to do his will. So if you don't work and make sure, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Lest that by any means, When I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.